Hello Bio 112 online students. This is Mrs. Hook Foes. I'm the instructor for this class, and I wanted to do a start out video to go through the different parts of Blackboard, our online homework site, MyLabs Plus, and a little bit through the syllabus as well. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you've made it into Blackboard. Announcements is going to be where each week I'll post a new announcement about what we're doing that week, what's due, and it'll also be emailed to you. So as long as you're checking your email, you should be good. Okay, so you went into getting started. You're watching this video. Hopefully you saw the other materials here. There's my information for contact, my office hours. I really appreciate when students stop by and ask questions, because then I know that you're interested and it's nice to meet you. My general response time to emails is within 2 business days. However, note, if it's on weekends and your homework assignment is due Sunday night and you email me Sunday during the day or maybe Saturday night, I probably won't have time to get back to you before your assignment's due. So try to work on your things early and ask questions early. There's a video for study tips, our academic calendar, the course competencies that we hope to cover in this class and which chapters will focus on each of those, information on plagiarism and how to avoid it. If you don't give a source credit and you use information from it, that's not okay. So anytime you find materials from outside of this class, you need to cite it. You can use APA or MLA format, whichever one works for me. That's fine. If you don't cite your sources, you'll have a 0 on the assignment, possibly fail the class, and have greater repercussions. So always, when in doubt, ask, cite your sources. When you go into our course files, you'll see our syllabus with our calendar. I'll pull it up for you here. And that has some of the same information that you'll see on Blackboard. It's got my instructor contact, required textbook materials. So by being in this course, you were charged a $60 course fee to your account, and that covers your access to the online website and an e-text. I highly recommend getting a hard copy as well. You can pick that up from the bookstore for $40, or you can get it used. You can rent it cheaper online, so I always recommend that. There's those course competencies again, and I'm not going to go super in-depth on this. You need to look over this more on your own. We do have a proctored exam. That will be our final, and you can start scheduling your final April 10th. So that's a little bit different this year. They're waiting till closer to finals to have students start scheduling, so there's less issues. And how that'll work is you'll have your final. I'll give you the questions beforehand, they're essays, and I'll make you answer a little less than half of the ones that I give you. So you'll have everything in advance, you'll have time to study. Withdrawal policies, the same as the schools. You have until right before spring break to withdraw with the W. The first week of classes, you can drop or add classes. So if you drop this course, you were never in it. You won't get charged, you're fine. If after that point you decide you don't want to be in the class, you can take a W until spring break. And what that does is it doesn't hurt your GPA. However, it doesn't count as a class successfully passed, and you need to pass 2/3 of your classes successfully for financial aid. So definitely keep that in mind. Student conduct, we've got more of that on plagiarism there. Another important part is this co-responsibility idea. If I have 2 students with the same work, I don't have to figure out who the original person was versus who copied. You both get 0s. If you feel you've been discriminated against in any way, you can contact Mr. Kyle Barron. Students with ADA, if you have any issues that require either some sort of homework extensions or longer time on your tests, any accommodations, you have to go through the Disability Services Coordinator. Her name is Pam Bull. Otherwise, everybody's homework, everybody's tests, everybody's quizzes exactly the same. No exceptions. Email standards and etiquette. So this is a really big one, and it's very important, especially for an online class. I like this example. It's funny. Especially with an online class, how you write emails is how I will get to know you and how your teachers will get impressions of you. The more professional and polite you can be, the better. So when you're sending an email to me, the best thing to do is a subject line, online bio 112, so I know exactly what you're going to talk about. And then there should be some sort of proper greeting. Hello, Mrs. Foes. I also go by M.Hook too. That was my maiden name. Whatever works. And when you write, you should write in full sentences. Look on the syllabus to see if the answer is there first before you write the email. And go overly polite. Emails, text messages, you don't get the context the same way you do with your voice. So it's important to be more polite than you think. It just reads better. You know, if somebody says, hey, I could really use help on this, it makes me feel much better than like somebody saying, I need this done now. You know, it's all about how it reads. And I've had really nice students write really short, not very nice sounding emails that I know they would never mean that way. But if I don't know you, I don't know that. So, overly polite. And then at the end, sign your name sincerely. Close it well. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. If you call my phone and don't leave a message, I will never get back to you. So if you want me to call you back, leave a message. Time management. In an online class, time management is probably one of the most important indicators of whether a student is going to be successful or not. So they say that for every hour you're in class, you're supposed to spend a couple hours outside of class working. And so they did the math and they said that classes should take you about 135 hours total. That's a lot. Now I don't think that this class will take quite that much, but plan for it. And make sure you schedule in your time. If you say, I'm going to work on this after I get these 3 or 4 other things done, well, you probably won't work on your homework. So schedule a time. Say you have space between classes. You're going to work Tuesday, Thursdays from 10 to 1, Fridays at this time, and then plan on Sundays. If you start your homework, everything's due Sunday night. If you start your homework at 10 o'clock on Sunday night, that will not be very fun. And if you have technical difficulties, that's a bummer. But it happens. So the more responsible you can be, the sooner you can contact me with questions, the more successful you will be in this course. And this point is huge. If you are having difficulties, please let me know. You know, we're online. I don't see you in class. I can't see your face if it's quizzical and you have questions. You need to ask questions. You need to email questions. You need to stop by my office. That's your responsibility as a student. If you don't ask questions, I can't help you. Okay? If you ask questions and say, at the end of the semester, I couldn't get this to work the whole time, well, it's a little too late now. The sooner you ask questions, the sooner we can get things worked out, and the more successful you will be. Okay. Point breakdown. Most of your points are going to be from those online assignments. You'll have some quizzes in there too. A few discussion boards. One additional assignment, pedigree. Basically, when we look at genetics, you look at your own genetics, and then the final exam. Okay. Final grades and assignments posted about 8 to 10 business days after the due date. So how it works is you get partial credit for everything due Sunday through that Thursday. So I don't really start grading them till about that Friday. So hopefully by the end of the weekend, I'll have those in. Otherwise, it'll be the next week. So it's about a 1 to 2 week break between when I get everything graded and when it gets into Blackboard. The grades from MyLabs Plus don't automatically transfer over. I have to do it by hand. So it does take a little while. Grade scale is normal. Okay. If you don't complete the syllabus quiz in MyLabs Plus by Wednesday, January 11th, by midnight, you will be dropped from the class as a non-attendant student. I will not extend this deadline for anyone for any reason. In the past, when I've done that, those students have not been successful. So I think I will be doing you a favor by not letting you be in the class. Cool. Withdrawal date, same as the school. Exams, you've got one final exam. Every 3 weeks or so, you have quizzes. And what this is, I have a pool of questions, and you have unlimited attempts. I can reset it for you as many times as you want, and you'll get 20 questions from the chapters that you'll have to answer. And I'll keep your best score. So there's no reason to not do well on them. And then you've got the chapter assignments. And what chapter assignments look like is they start out with some essay questions, which students usually don't like, but it's really helpful. When I took an online class, the only things I retained were things I wrote essays on. So I don't love to grade them. It's not my favorite. I don't want to make you do extra work that's not helpful. I really think it's helpful. So you'll have those chapter summaries, then you'll have some activities to do with the material, some matching, to help get that material down. We'll have a few discussion boards, 3, and those will just be an intro, a midway point reflection, and then a final reflection. And you'll get to talk to other students a little bit. Late work policy. Things in my labs are 20% off per day late. We'll look at that more in there. Important spring dates. And here's our calendar. And you'll see a calendar view in My Labs Plus. Okay. So after you have watched this video, the My Labs Plus link will become available. The first time you go in here, you have to go through Blackboard. It'll recognize that you paid a course fee, and you'll get signed in. You want to right-click, open in a new tab, because otherwise it takes over this and you've lost your Blackboard. So let's go to that page. You can have the Pearson website link saved. I recommend doing that in case Blackboard goes down for some reason. You can still access this, but the first time you have to go through Blackboard. Okay, and so this is what it looks like. You've got that syllabus quiz due Wednesday, and then you've got about 1 chapter a week. And after every 2 or 3 chapters, you'll have a quiz. And you've got multiple attempts, and how it works is I'll reset them for you if you want more. They wouldn't just let me reset and give multiple attempts on one. So I have to reset it for you if you want more than 2 tries. That's okay. And if you complete all your homework by the due date, Sunday at midnight Central Time, 100%. You earn 80% of the credit, Monday, 60, 40, 20, and by that Friday it's 0, and I'll start grading those essays. Okay? Do a good job with those. The better job you do, the better you're learning. You know, it doesn't hurt me. I'll be giving you feedback on those, whether you need to expand next time or not, and I'll start out grading pretty lenient on them, and then once I've given you feedback on how successful you've been being, I expect by about, a month in or so for you to be doing a really good job on those. I will get more critical. You can also go to assignments to see these in calendar form or switch it to a list view if you like it better. I like the calendar view. You can look at your scores in here. Most of the assignment is scored automatically. And how it works is for each question, if you get the question right on your first attempt, you get 100%, and each wrong try you get takes a percentage away. So you'll get like 100, 85%, 70, 55% for each wrong try on each. Students can go through here really fast, but your score really suffers if you don't go slow and make sure you understand. Okay, other things in here. The study area is really cool. Your e-text, of course, has your e-text. So for each chapter, you can click go to different ones. You can do practice tests. You have flashcards, some activities, and some of these you'll see in your homework. Got some tutor sessions, and then it'll give you a couple additional resources. So that can be fun. And then, that's about it. Let's go back to Blackboard. There's technical support if it's not working for some reason. We've also got discussion boards. So your first discussion board will be due Sunday the 15th. And that's an intro. So you'll write an introduction about yourself, and then you'll respond to 3 others, and the information is there. Next, we've got chapter resources. So for each chapter, this is where you should start. I've got PowerPoint, and then student notes. So basically like a Word document of the text from the PowerPoint. Sometimes there's blanks in there for you to fill in. And then we've got video lecture links. I cannot strongly enough suggest watching the video lectures. They're shorter than going to a lecture in class, and they're so helpful. I'll have students say, I didn't really understand this chapter, I didn't get what it was about, and if I ask, did you watch the lecture videos? They'll say no, because they think they're saving time, they think it's a waste. But it's not. Taking, half hour to 45 minutes watching a lecture video, getting that information down is going to save you so much time. If you try to read this all from the book and you're not really strong in science, or even if you are, you're going to go so much slower than if you have it summarized first in the video and you see those connections there. So I cannot strongly enough suggest watch the videos, watch the videos, watch the videos. Okay, cool. So oftentimes I recommend print out the student notes and watch the videos, take notes with that. And then, when you're going through and you're like, oh, I don't remember these notes, go to the PowerPoint and look at the pictures again. Okay. Additional info, proctored exam scheduling. As you recall, that'll go a little bit later this semester. And then we've got some resources. On campus, got the library, the learning center, different community resources if you or anyone you know needs help, some really good biology websites, Blackboard resources, and then privacy statement for distance learners. So I've got all the bases covered here for you to get started, but it's not up to me if you're successful, really. It's about how much time you put in and how hard you work on something that you don't understand. If you've watched the lecture video, if you're working on the homework and you still don't get something, go to YouTube and watch another video. Find something that works for you. Make like some sort of connection map, concept map, where you see how things are connected and you write them out. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. It'll be easier for some people than others, but everyone should be able to be successful, especially if you ask questions. So that's kind of what I view my role as for you. I'm there for you to ask questions. I'm giving you this start, but it's really what you make of it. Can you pass this class by answering questions on homework pretty quickly? Probably. Are you going to get a good grade? No. Are you going to retain anything? No. So ask yourself why you're here and what you want to get out of this class. The more you put in, the more you'll put out. The more you'll get out of this course. And I really do wish you the best of luck. Please work on your time management, schedule those times, and ask questions if you have them. Find a steady partner you can go through things with, watch the videos together, and don't procrastinate. So often when I ask students what their biggest piece of advice is, well, 1, watch the videos, and 2, don't procrastinate. Start the homework early in the week, work ahead, so that you don't have to be stressed out all the time. Okay? This can be a really good class if you work hard. Otherwise, it is really what you make of it. So I wish you the best of luck. Keep in touch.